So what's going on, Battlefielders? My name is Pone. How you guys doing today? Oh, I'm fantabulous. Today, I want to talk to you guys about Battlefield 4 Beta. Kind of give it a review, first impression, kind of overlook. A lot of you guys keep asking me individual questions, so I'm like, these questions can probably all be answered in one video. Voila! Here we go. So, before we start, I'm just going to give you the rating of what I rate the beta, and I'd give it about a 3 or 4 out of 10. I have been let down by the beta. I've been disappointed by the beta in so many different ways, and confusion, and I want to talk about that today. Now, a lot of people start defending things because, oh, it's a beta. Those people need to be choked out right now. Let's look at it in a way that you should look at it. Okay, think with me for a second. Stop defending a game that you love, even though you know it's flawed. It's not your child, it's not family, it's a fucking video game. Think about it for a second. You're opening your own brand new restaurant. You're letting people come in and try your food a week early. Is that food going to taste as good as the food that you're going to release, or are you going to give them some piece of shit table scraps and graham crackers? That's what I'm saying. When it's the first encounter, when it is the first chance for general public to try out your product, and it is this wonky, this messed up, this unstable, that says something. That's going to drive people away. I don't know if that's part of the tactic to let all their fans down and then blow them out of the water and surprise the hell out of them with the full release. But I've been seriously let down by this beta on so many different levels, and it's about instability and inconsistency. When you have somebody try your product for the first time, you want to make it get as close to the real expectancy as possible. And that's the kind of taste. You want to give them a taste of what they want so they come back for more. So you don't want mold in your food, you know what I'm saying? You want it to be good shit. So my situation with the Battlefield 4 beta is it's got lots of problems, lots of new things they're trying, and this is one of the things that I feared about with Battlefield 4 is they're trying to become the next big powerhouse, and they're going to bring in a lot of new ideas, and a lot of these new ideas, you know, there's going to be hit and misses. That's what I said. It's like what all the games when they started to innovate did. You know, when Call of Duty 4, which was one of the best Call of Duties ever, went to Modern Warfare 2, they gambled a lot. They brought in the new streak system, new guns, better customization, nukes. But then with that came another gamble, One-Man Army, where it allowed people to have infinite noob tubes, and that one big mistake made their game unplayable. So while people try to innovate, they generally take stabs and gambles at creating new things, and I think they've messed up a couple things along the way in Battlefield 4. Let's talk about the obvious issues. Performance. People are having massive frame drops to the point it's unplayable for some people. There's little things like reload glitches, and that's expected out of a beta, I guess. Those little things are just easy fixes and nobody concerns themselves with. Then you have disconnections. I get disconnected in an hour session. I get disconnected 3 or 4 times. I don't like that. But again, I can chalk that up to being a beta. That's not unexpected. They're testing out servers and everything like that. Okay. Now let's talk about some of their ideas, some of the things they wanted to bring in. They brought in on-map weapons. Understand, I've played a lot of Domination. I'm not a fan of the Conquest map available. I find that Conquest is a happy medium. I find it's where both infantry and vehicular, armor can coexist. I find that Siege on Conquest is kind of like there's like 3 points that are basically all armor and infantry goes around there, they get fucked. And there are 3 points that are basically infantry only. It's like separated, the groups of people. And I like where they coexist pretty well. So, at the end of the day, I wasn't a fan of that map, so what I'm basing my opinions on is basically from what I've dealt with from Domination, which is fair because all the other game modes are going to be very similar. There's going to be a lot of close-quarter situations, rush and something like that, which is my personal preferred game type. And what I'm saying is they're putting on-map weapons. Now, this is a trait of an arena shooter. This is what I'm talking about what Unreal is. This is what Halo is. Why would you put on-map weapons, power weapons, on a game where you have massive customization? The reason that's important is because in Halo, everybody starts with the same weapon, and they have to go pick stuff off the map. On this, you have all kinds of weapons. You have fully autos, and it's not a struggle anymore. One of the great things that they've done, which has mixed things up a little bit, is they've added in carbines and DMRs. So even the Recon class has now got fully auto things that can use its equipment. It's no longer a moment of classes struggling because they all have decent weapons available to them. So the bringing in of these on-map weapons confuses me. Why do you need a 50 caliber sniper in this map? And even more importantly is how hard is it going to be for them to balance these out on each map? People spend months trying to make things balance on some of these things. And from what I've seen so far, basically the people that spawn in on domination on this one are given the rifle right away, and the other team's just like, fuck you, bro. And it's not even close. So that's what I'm saying. Why bring in on-map weapons? I thought that was a gamble that they didn't need to take. That's a characteristic of an arena shooter that has nothing to do with Battlefield. I don't think it should exist in the game, period. You guys already have 500 guns to choose from. Why do you need on-map ones that are stronger than everything else? It just does not make sense to me. And on top of that whole arena thing, you know, it's aspects you've seen from Halo and stuff. And then they brought in the sniper trail, which I think is stupid. I mean, why put a suppressor on a rifle? Why shoot a rifle? Because you know they're either at point A or point B. Part of being a sniper way back on the mountain is having stealth, being able to shoot at people and not knowing where they're from. You can hear the sound and get a general idea, but now they have a direct point of where you are located. So sitting back is basically eliminating bolt action rifles because people are going to know exactly where you are. So some of the things that they've brought in, I've been disappointed with. Counter knifing, for example, has eliminated melee from their game. That is an important part of every FPS, is melee. And counter knifing basically means if you knife anyone from the front and maybe part of the side, you're going to die. You swung first, but you're still going to die. So it's one of those things. They're trying to be flashy, trying to do something different, trying to be cool. And it failed. It failed miserably. I mean, even if they cut down so it's just a split second of counter knifing, I probably won't be happy because you're dancing and tangling. I like to be able to just punch somebody or stab somebody or something like that. And I'm not saying I want it to be like Call of Duty, but even if it's a double hit, like in Halo, but an assassination from the back is fine. You know what I'm saying? So there's little tweaks they need to do to knifing, like when you come up behind somebody and you knife them, as soon as you start the animation, you should get the tags and the kill, and then you play out the animation, and if you die during the animation, that's fine. I've had a guy, like, tied up for 3 seconds and killed right before I took his tags. Actually, after I've taken his tags, but I don't get the kill. And that kind of stuff's irritating. But that stuff will be fixed in the full retail. Another one of my major concerns is battle packs. Another thing they're trying to do to flash it up and add fun playability to the game. And I think it's going to be dumb. There's a lot of people that are going to want, like, foregrips and stuff like that on their weapons. And they're going to have to seriously just keep rolling and gambling. And I think this is part of EA's problem, is they keep trying to get more and more money from us, and that's what they do with the FIFA and the Madden communities. People buy these packs of cards and gamble and gamble and gamble and gamble. So I wouldn't be shocked if they were like golden camos, rare stuff, similar to informs from those games that are just going to blow up and do stuff. So I'm not sure exactly what way they're going to take battle packs, but I'm almost positive that they'll bring those in where you have to buy them, and they're going to make people, especially early on in the game, they're going to want to encourage them to buy them and buy them and buy them so they can get an extra 100 or $200 out of us. But I don't like the idea of battle packs. I like the idea of earning it. So even if it was like in Battlefield 3 where you leveled up everything, I think they had Battlefield 3 much better than that. I've played the beta right now, and I'm missing the aspects of Battlefield 3. And that's one of the things. Now the upgrades for this game are pretty solid. They have done great class upgrades. The visual upgrades are great. People are like infatuated with the idea of extra demolition and levolution. After the first time you saw the building fall, does anybody ever go, "Oh my god, that was so cool"? No. Just 3 months from now, nobody's going to give two shits about the building falling. It's going to be simply, yo, the building's down. That's all that's going to happen. That's just initial flash. So the explosions are fine. That they've added explosive weapons to every class now. Good idea? I don't know. Bad idea? Maybe. It depends. If they can make those explosives, useful against walls and armor and less useful against infantry, even though that's how it should be just as damaging to infantry, but it makes it so where people can just sit on roofs all day and shoot noob tubes down at people. Not fun, not enjoyable in my opinion. So they're going to have to do a lot of tweaking and a lot of balancing, giving every class a form of explosive. But I do like how they've brought in all kit equipment. The recon now is much more comfortable, probably the most upgraded. The bolt actions still are kind of crazy. I don't like the trail. I think sniping's aggressive recon is a lot more difficult than it was in Battlefield 3, and even more so than BC2. They got the defense perks, which I don't know what they were doing there. So you get a lot more hit markers. You have a lot of inconsistencies with it. It's a lot harder to hit people on the run. The trail gives your position away. I'm just not happy with the bolt actions. I mean, they're already difficult enough to use. I think they've brought in the new ideas of removing suppression, which helps tenfold. There's so many things they've done for that. but some of the things that they've also brought in have just been like counterproductive towards getting the bolt actions to where they need to be. They can eliminate quickscoping entirely if they just add an extra second or second and a half to ADSing, aiming down sight with the rifles, and if that's what they were really intending to do, and nobody would be upset with that. At the end of the day, that's one of my concerns is what they're doing. But what they've improved with the recon class, they brought back the motion ball. It's got C4. Those are major upgrades to that. On top of that, you can use carbines, DMRs, and shotguns. Shotguns for close range, DMRs and carbines for medium and long range. And you still have the long range rifle bolt actions equipped with the class. Recon is something to be reckoned with right now. I do a lot of recon shotgunning now. Throw the motion ball to basically peek corners and then run out there when the time permits. So at the end of the day, a lot of these classes have been upgraded big time. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the visual upgrades. But other than that, nothing from this thing has wowed me. I've never been like, wow, I'm glad I'm a battlefielder. I've been disappointed. I've been upset about some of the armor. I've been upset about so many things in this. And I wasn't looking to get let down. Don't think I'm going in here just trying to nitpick and point out flaws. These are just actual things that after I've played, I've unlocked every gun in this game. I've put in 30 hours into this game already. And I'm upset with it. I'm already like feeling like this is I'm scared that this is how the full game is going to be, and that's not the experience or emotions that they want reflecting on their game from the first time they've allowed the general public to play it. So that's been my opinion on it. Feel free to leave yours down below. Any concerns you have, things that upset you, what you think about battle packs and knifing and snipers now, what do you think about all classes having carbines and all that stuff, defense perks, and just leave your opinions down below. I'm looking forward to hear from them. Be sure to click the like button as it helps out a lot. And have a magnificent day, guys. Peace out. Stay moist.